It was a cold, eerie night when young Tommy found himself walking alone on the dimly lit streets. The moon was veiled behind a thick curtain of clouds, casting an ominous shadow upon the deserted road. Tommy had been out with his best friend, Daniel, playing video games at the arcade until well past midnight. The late hour made his heart race as he hurriedly made his way home, hoping to escape the clutches of the darkness. The streets were silent and devoid of life, save for the rustling leaves under Tommy's feet. He could feel an invisible presence lurking in the shadows, as if the night itself was conspiring against him. An eerie chill ran down his spine, and he quickened his pace, hoping to reach the safety of his home. As Tommy approached a desolate alley, he couldn't help but glance towards a gnarled tree that stood sentinel nearby. The moonlight revealed its twisted branches, extending like skeletal fingers into the night sky. A strange sensation tugged at his instincts, urging him to look closer. Against his better judgment, he turned his gaze towards the tree. To his horror, Tommy saw a figure lurking in the branches, a ghostly apparition with a twisted and contorted face. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, piercing through the darkness. Fear gripped his heart as he stumbled backward, his mind unable to comprehend what he had just witnessed. The ghostly figure seemed to be beckoning him, its spectral hand stretched out, as if urging Tommy to come closer. Terrified, Tommy broke into a sprint, his heart pounding against his chest. He refused to glance back, fearing what he might see. The image of the ghostly face haunted his thoughts, causing him to shudder with each step. The encounter had left an indelible mark on his young mind, and he couldn't shake off the feeling of impending doom that hung over him. Days turned into weeks, and the memory of that chilling encounter refused to fade. Tommy's nights were plagued by nightmares, his dreams filled with the visage of the ghostly figure. Sleep eluded him as his mind replayed the scene over and over again. The once cheerful and carefree boy became a shadow of his former self, haunted by the ghost with the twisted face. The spectral visits became more frequent, tormenting Tommy both day and night. He would catch glimpses of the twisted figure lurking behind curtains, peering through windows, and even in the reflection of mirrors. Its presence seemed to surround him at every turn, driving him to the brink of madness. Tommy's health began to deteriorate rapidly. His once rosy cheeks turned pale, and his eyes lost their spark. His parents, concerned for their son's well-being, took him to numerous doctors, but no one could find an explanation for his condition. The specter of the ghostly figure had cast a dark spell upon him, draining his vitality and leaving him weak and frail. One night, as Tommy lay in bed, consumed by both fever and fear, he mustered the strength to confide in his parents about the ghostly encounters. Reluctantly, they listened to his tale, their faces etched with concern and disbelief. But deep down, they knew that something sinister was at play. Determined to help their ailing son, Tommy's parents sought the assistance of a renowned paranormal investigator. Together, they delved into the history of their town, unearthing tales of tragedy and restless spirits. Through their research, they discovered that the tree where Tommy had first encountered the ghost was said to be haunted by the spirit of a long-deceased resident who had met a tragic end. Armed with this knowledge, The investigator devised a plan to cleanse the lingering spirit from their lives. With candles lit and incense burning, they performed a ritual to release the tormented soul, hoping to restore peace to Tommy's shattered world. As the last incantation echoed through the room, the air grew heavy, and a sense of tranquility washed over them all. From that night onward, Tommy's health began to improve. The nightmares gradually receded, and the ghostly figure with the twisted face ceased to haunt him. Though the memory of the encounter remained etched in his mind, Tommy found solace in knowing that he had triumphed over the supernatural forces that had plagued him. Years later, as an adult, Tommy would occasionally pass by that same tree, now shrouded in a different aura. The ghostly presence had been vanquished, and the twisted face had faded into legend. But deep within his heart, Tommy knew that the encounter had changed him forever, a reminder of the thin veil that separates the world of the living from the realm of the dead.